Hello, welcome to my class today. And today, basically, I just want to teach you ladies how to take your measurements. Because I discovered a lot of us struggle to be able to take our own measurements. And I believe it's something we all should be able to do. So now I have my assistant here that's going to help me. Okay. I'm going to give her the name Isabella and say hello to her because she is going to be our assistant for today. So all you need to take your own measurement first is a tape rule. Now, we're going to go around taking your bust measurement first. You get the tip of your tape and you just go around the bust area and you hold it just enough for your finger to go through. Okay? Don't make it too tight that your finger can go through. You should make it just firm enough so your finger can pass through. So while I'm doing this, I'm keeping this, the tip of the tape, to the side of my tape here, and I'll adjust accordingly to get what I really want. So not too firm, not too loose. Now, if you notice, I didn't put this over the bust. I put it just where you have the nipple, and that's how to get your accurate bust measurement. If you put it over here, it will be smaller, and if you come over here, it increases a little. And if you go under too, it's going to be a problem. So make sure when you're taking your measurement is exact. Now, the next point I want to help you understand is taking your waist measurement. Now, if you look at the waist, for a typical African woman, we have different layers of waist. My dummy here, Isabella, is actually like a normal size 6, size 8. No pouch, no bulge, everything is just flat. So for such a person, taking a waist measurement is just one size. So you just need to go around the tiniest parts of the waist, as I've done, okay? You pull to be tight enough for one finger to be behind it to pass through. So you see what I'm doing here, that's her waist, and that's okay. Okay, but for a woman that has a bulge or a pouch, what she needs to do is take this tiniest part, then also come and take the part where it bulges. Because this is important, especially when you need to make some fitted clothes or to give your tailor the right perspective of how your body looks like. And you could also take another waist measurement called on the bust, just underneath the bust. If you're going to make it like an empire waist dress, this actually comes into play. So you could take that part, the tiniest part, and the part where it bulges more. Now, if you're going to be taking a waist measurement, like for a skirt, for the waist of your skirt, you don't take it up here because you don't put your skirt here. So you need to come a bit lower, and you will discover that when you come a bit lower, it's bigger. It's not as tiny as up here. So you come to the lower part of the waist and take your measurement. Now, if you want to take your hip measurement, all you need to do is place your tape a bit slanty, like you can see, okay, and push it downwards, and you relax it as it goes downwards. That way, you should be able to slip up and down the waist. That way, you know you've taken it accurately. It should not be too loose and it should not be too firm. You should just be able to move up and down, so you adjust accordingly. Now, to take your blouse length, all you need to do is come from this part, the top part of the shoulder, and you place your tape across the bust, not to the side, not to the middle, but across the bust. And you go as long as you want it. So it depends on you what you're comfortable with. Now, if you want your half length, you do the same thing. Up you see how I placed my tape. I didn't come to the side, up here. Now you go to where, almost to the navel point. If it's to the navel point for everybody, it could be like a low waist. So just make eye glance and try to see where you'll be comfortable with having your half length. And it varies for everybody. So for Isabella here, her half length is going to be 15. And if you notice, the 15 part does not come to the navel part. It's just like an inch and a half or two above the navel. If I am to go to the navel to get the half waist, it will be too low. then your dress will be looking like a low waist. So you should take note of that part. It's very important. And now to another essential part of taking your measurements is your arm. Like you can see the arm, normally for every woman, the upper part here is bigger. As you go down towards the elbow is narrower, and towards the wrist is tinier. So if you're going to be making a long sleeve, you make sure you take your measurement from where you have the ball point. If you feel your shoulder top, you're going to feel like a bone, a round bone. That's your joint, your shoulder joint. So from that part, not here, not here, just there, where the shoulder ends. So you take your measurement from there all the way to your wrist if you want a long sleeve. Now, if you want a short sleeve, it should be from that point to wherever you feel will look nice on you. Now, if you want it to be 3/4 sleeve, then it should be towards the elbow, on the elbow, or just a little beneath the elbow. Then for the round sleeve, you should take the top part, like I'm going to do here. You take the top part, you take the elbow part, then you come and also take the wrist part. It's very important so you can get a nice fit. So don't forget that. Now, the other part of the measurement we're going to be taking now is the shoulder. Now I'm going to turn Isabella a little so you can actually get to see the part, how I take it. Okay, now this is the shoulder at the back. So from that same point where you have the ball joint to the other ball shoulder joint, that's how you're going to take your measurement. So from this part, I place my tape to the other part. Okay, it needs to be exact. If you come a little low down, your shoulder is going to be drooping. And that's why you notice that sometimes people wear tops and the tops don't sit well on them because the shoulder measurement was not properly taken. So you have a sagging shoulder. Now, if you take it a little too short, the problem is that your cloth will be hanging sort of. You won't be comfortable. It's not going to be relaxed. So you see how important it is to actually get your correct shoulder measurement. So right now, we need to show you how to get your dress measurement, your length of dress. So you also take from the shoulder here. Notice where I put my tape, not to the end, but somewhere around the middle of this shoulder part, over the bust, to how long you want your dress to be. It could be on the knee, and it could be beneath the knee, it could be above the knee, so you decide. Then if you want it full flowing to, you have to take the whole length to the feet, or if you don't want it to drop too much, then it has to go to the ankle. It depends on what you're comfortable with really. Now for your skirt measurement, you come to the part from where you, as in on your waist, where you place the skirt. For those that put it up here, you start measuring from there. For those that bring it a little lower, you start measuring from there. So from here to above the knee, on the knee, underneath the knee, or to the ankle, or to cover your feet, it all depends on what you are comfortable with. Now for a trouser pants, it's also the same thing, but you have to get your lap, your thigh, where it's big, and the knee part, and the, sometimes also the bottom part near your ankle to see what you like. So you just come and just place your tip there, okay? Then later to the knee and to the ankle to just be sure of the fit of the trouser you want. If it's going to be a wide fit trouser, you don't need to get the ankle. You just shape from the hip downwards, okay? So I think basically that is what you need. But for me, sometimes too, when I take measurements, I also do the back. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, I take this from, you will notice that every woman has like a ball somewhere around the lower part of the neck near the shoulder level. So I always measure from there to where the back curves the most. I don't come all to the bottom, but I just stop where the back curves the most. And for Isabella here, it's actually 14. And I use this normally to shape my tops, my dresses, and it gives me more accurate measurements as opposed to using the half length. So you could also try that in your sewing. I hope you enjoyed that part of taking measurements. And I hope now you can take your measurements and send to your tailors and know what your sizes actually are. Thank you for staying tuned, and please don't forget to like my video and subscribe. The buttons are just under there, and feel free to share. Till I come again your way, it's bye for me.